Hello, I'm Marion Kane, Food Sleuth. I'm here in my kitchen on a beautiful fall day to talk, what else? Apples. Apples are my favorite fruit, and I make many desserts with apples, apple crumble, apple cake, but my favorite dessert is applesauce. There is one problem with applesauce. Most people make it the wrong way. Cookbooks, TV chefs, a lot of publications tell you to make it by adding liquid, water, cider, apple juice, and they tell you to do it on top of the stove. I've no idea why this has gone on for so long, but I'm here to correct it. You should make applesauce in the oven for an even enveloping heat. You should not add liquid. Apples are an incredible fruit. They are bursting with flavor, they have wonderful texture, and they have their own juice. They have their own liquid. Why would you add another liquid? So here's how I make my applesauce. This is the container I use, the cooking vessel. It's a terracotta casserole with a tight-fitting lid. And I have sliced up apples in here. I use whatever apples I have on hand. That's the beauty of applesauce. You can use it at the end of the season or at the end of a week of eating apples and making pie or whatever else you do with them. You collect them all. Even we used to use windfalls in England, the apples that fall off the tree and aren't perfect, and slice them randomly. It doesn't have to be accurate, just chunks of apples. Then I do add a couple of things. I do add cinnamon, as much as you want. I do it by eye. Then I usually add a bit of lemon juice, and I do it through a sieve, a small sieve. It's a trick to catch the pits. And then I usually add a bit of brown sugar, just to bring out the sweetness, to accentuate it. And I toss this all together. Usually I do it with my hands. I'm not going to do it now. You can even leave it shake it like this. And a combination of apples, maybe you've got Macintosh, Cortland. I sometimes use Ida Red. They're a delicious cooking apple. And at the end of the season, I use Northern Spy, which are a very tart apple. They add a lot of sour taste. The beauty of using a mixture is you get the mixture of taste, but you also get different textures. Some of these apples cook down and produce a pulp, juicy mass, saucy, but some of them will remain in chunks. So I cook it for about an hour at 350, and then I do not puree it. That is the wrong way. I just take a fork and I mush it into chunks. Here is the result. My beautiful chunky applesauce. And here's a trick. My mother used to do this when we were children. She would add chocolate chips to make us eat our applesauce. That adds an even more delicious taste and texture. The bittersweet taste of chocolate chips and the crunch. Although this applesauce is warm and they will slightly melt. A final touch to this would be a scoop of vanilla ice cream or creme fraiche. But I'm just going to eat this the way it is with the chocolate chips in it. Oh my goodness. That is divine. It's slightly sour. It has a little sweet tinge. It's chunky but juicy and a little bit al dente-ish. It's a dessert for the gods. And if you want the recipe for this applesauce made the right way, you can find it in this book called Share by me and Adrian DeFrancesco in aid of Food Share, a non-profit organization in Toronto. You're welcome.